Hello everyone, good morning. I'm really sorry I'm not there to do this presentation for you, but I set up sort of a studio here and I hope you're able to see my presentation. I hope I can read my notes and I hope you can enjoy this presentation. So I want to start saying good morning to everyone here, and I want to say thank you to Pastor Randy for giving me this opportunity to present Christian Peacemaker teams. Also want to thank Dave and Carol Weeb for making this possible. Thank you very much. And I want to start presenting myself. So my name is Carolina Gouveia and I'm from Brazil, but I made the brave decision to move to Winnipeg, where I live with my partner and our lovely 2 cats. So today I want to share about this organization I've been working for since 2016, called Christian Peacemaker Teams. But I would like to share a little bit about me, about myself before. So I grew up in São Paulo, Brazil, and I went to law school. And after working with law for a while, I decided that I want to learn a little bit about peacemaking in the country of Colombia. So in 2016, I left Brazil and I joined Christian Peacemaker Teams in Colombia, where they support small farmers who suffer threats of being evicted from their lands. In 2018, I spent some time in Palestine, documenting human rights violations from the Israeli army towards Palestinian people in Hebron, the West Bank. And in October 2018, I came here to Canada to work with a project with CPT with Indigenous peoples. It was called Indigenous People Solidarity. But unfortunately, in 2019, for financial reasons, CPT had to close this project. So I went back to work with the team in Colombia in July 2019. And since then, I've been working with them, and I'm the program support coordinator. And I work from here, from Canada, but I have contact with the team online, and I get to visit them once a year. So this is a little bit of my story and how I got here. So right now I'm working for Christian Peacemaker Teams, and so to start, what is Christian Peacemaker Teams? So Christian Peacemaker Teams started in 1986 from the hearts of Mennonite church people who were looking for a peaceful way to respond to the conflicts during that time. So what we do is that, with the invitation of local peacemaking communities around the world, we place teams to support these communities while they face situations of conflict. Our work is to support them while they protect their land, families, and communities. So CPT has the mission of to build relationships and transform violence and oppressions. Many of our partners around the world are affected for many ways of oppressions. And how do we do that? We do accompaniment. You do accompaniment. So in this picture, you can see a CPTer and a partner, and they're literally walking together, and there's something that we do. We're present with them, and we go there and we spend time with our partners. Other thing that we do, it's advocacy. So hope you can see my pictures. So this guy is Chuck Wright. He's a good friend of mine, and in this picture, Chuck is standing in front of Stony Mountain Penitentiary, advocating to pass the bill C-262, And this bill is to ensure that the laws in Canada are in harmony with the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples. This bill, there was a huge campaign for this bill, and in this penitentiary, just so you know, there's a high percentage of Indigenous incarceration. The other thing that we do is we write reports and we document human rights violation. So in this picture, I hope you can see, it's this little girl, and this picture is in Palestine. This little girl is trying to get into her house, and she's being prevented by Israeli army. So those are the work that we do as CPT. And so currently CPT has programs in 5 countries and regions. And so it's Iraqi Kurdistan, Palestine, Greece, Turtle Island, which is the indigenous name for North America, and Colombia. So in Iraqi Kurdistan, in Iraqi Kurdistan, so the Kurdish community in the north of Iraq resists displacement caused by the bombing between Iran and Turkey. So CPT documents and reports the facts of attacks on the civilian population and advocates for a peaceful solution. So in this picture, there's some CPTers here, and they're visiting students of a school that just got bombed, and the kids are resisting and they're finding a way to continue studying. The team in Palestine is located in Hebron, the West Bank, and they document the daily life of Palestinians who live under the occupation of Israeli army and settlers. They observe the kids going to school as they need to cross several checkpoints. And they also document clashes between Palestinians and the army, and also any kind of violations the Palestinians go through every day in their life by Israeli army. And in Greece, Lesbos, so in Greece, the thing that is happening is that there are so many people crossing the Mediterranean Sea from Turkey and making their way to Europe. And once they arrive in Greece, they face racism, violence, confinement, and deportation. So the team in Lesbos is present among these migrants, and they try to report all those violations that they suffer. This picture, you can see 2 CPTers walking next to what you can see here, life jackets of people who just crossed to the island of Lesbos. So our project in Turtle Island, Canada and the US, we call Turtle Island Solidarity Network, that's TISIN. And TISIN was created after the closure of the Indigenous People Solidarity Program and in 2019. In the group of CPT reservists in Turtle Island, which is the indigenous name of North America. And it's there are CPT reservists who are engaged in indigenous solidarity and decolonization. They take actions, they are available for possible accompaniment, and they provide opportunities for education and advocacy. So this picture is in Standing Rock in 2016, and many CPTers were present along with other activists. And CPT Colombia. And I'm gonna pause this video and I'm gonna start another one, so this video it's not super happy for Dave. Okay, we're back. So let's talk about CPT Colombia. And so CPT is also located in Colombia. And to refresh your memories, Colombia is a country in South America. So we're up here, and Colombia is this country here. So I hope you can see it's north of Brazil. So Colombia is known by their coffee, the Amazon, and their beautiful people. But Colombia is also marked by terrible conflict, corruption, drug trafficking, and violence. So in 2016, the government of Colombia and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, the famous guerrilla, also known as FARC, signed a peace agreement. And although the FARC ended their time as guerrilla and gave up their weapons, the implementation of the agreements for the side of the government moves very, very slow. Colombia is known for the violence against small farmers who try to cultivate their crops. Big companies and landlords try to evict these farmers' communities away from their lands. Many of these farmers are in vulnerable conditions without legal support. They count on the support of human rights organizations. The thing is that these human rights defenders are also targeted. In 2020, Colombia had the record of the country with the most assassinations of human rights defenders in Latin America. To talk about the political context of Colombia, it would take me at least, I don't even know, 5 hours. And unfortunately, I cannot talk too much about that. But I really want to encourage you to go ahead and do your research and try to understand what is happening in Colombia. So, where's CPT in Colombia? So CPT is located, this is Bogota, this is the capital, and CPT is up here, around here. There's a river that crosses here. They go all the way up here. And this river is the most important river in Colombia. And so it's very important for you to understand that this river is here very close to where CPT is. So this region, this river, it's called Magdalena River. And the whole region around the river, it's called Magdalena Medio. And CPT works in this region of Magdalena Medio. So we visit small farmers and mining communities. They're strongly suffering from threats of violence and eviction of their lands by armed groups funded by big corporations. CPT also accompanies several human rights organizations who document and report human rights violations and provide support to communities who are affected by systematic violence. So when we say that we provide accompaniment, what we're trying to say is that we do accompaniment that we call the physical, spiritual, and political. Our political accompaniment happens in moments like this morning, as I get the chance to share about our partners and their struggles, and I can invite you to support CPT and the work of our partners. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, since March, we had to interrupt our physical accompaniment to these communities. But here's an idea of the work we do with one of our partners in terms of physical and spiritual accompaniment. So this is a chalupa, the boat that we take from the city of Barranca Bermeja, where CPT house is. And we go all the way down the river for 3 hours and on this boat called chalupas to visit our partners. It looks fun, but it's actually very uncomfortable. So this is the community of El Guayabo, and this is a farmer working on their corn. I think it's corn. I'm pretty sure it's corn. You probably can tell better than me. So just to share a little bit about Guayabo, it's a small community by the Magdalena River, and you're going to see the river. This is it's a beautiful river and has amazing sunsets there. So some villagers, so going back to this picture, so some villagers, they had their lands down the road, and they have their crops with plantain and corn. And though many of them wish they could live in their houses and the farm, they have to go back to the village for safety reasons. So since 2016, the tranquility of the community has been shaken. This man called Rodrigo Lopez, it's not this guy, I don't have a picture of Rodrigo Lopez, but this Rodrigo Lopez, he's a son of a former owner of the land. He came up with the idea that the land belonged to him, and using violence and threats, he invaded part of the area. He destroyed crops and displaced some families. He also made demands against the community members in the hope to become the new owner and displace all the families who live there. Rodrigo has employees who spend the day threatening and morally harassing the locals. This conflict is a nightmare to the small farmers who believe in peace and refuse to respond to the situation with violence. CPT visits El Guayabo and spends a week there. The presence of international organizations is expected to prevent this harassment from happening. We hope that it makes a statement that these communities are not fighting alone and that we are in constant contact with them. I cannot guarantee that that's always the case, but especially because sometimes we are also harassed by these people, but we know that it helps. It makes some of our partners feel safer. So the leader of the community is Eric Pajares. It's this guy talking on the microphone, and he's the most target. Eric's married to Chayla, and he has 3 kids. So during our time, we'll walk with Eric to his farm and spend the day there. Sometimes we take a horse or motorcycle, sometimes we just walk. And we spend the day there. We have meals with villagers. We visit some community members, sorry. We'll also join their meetings and offer some reflections, or sometimes we're just there listening to them. And if these farmers need physical accompaniment while running errands, we'll also do it. These moments of visits are precious for us, as we can get to create a relationship with these people, learn about them, and share our personal stories as well. And I personally became very close to Eric's family. This is a picture of a CPT friend, and this boy is Sandro, Eric's son, and we would just walk down the river and spend our evenings there. So in 2018, Rodrigo came with the army and evicted at least 5 families from their farms. They cut the crops, as you can see, and knocked down some buildings. It was a traumatic experience, but this community keeps resisting non-violently. In one of these actions, a group of women made a human chain and prevented the army from moving forward. And a couple weeks later, the farmers came back and started rebuilding their crops. This is the building that Eric's family had at the farm. They wouldn't live there, but they would spend the day there, and it's a very nice building. This is a picture of Sandro, but what I want to say is that the resistance is something that you see not only in Guayabo, but in the whole country of Colombia. Colombians resist. Maybe it's because that the only option that they have, in some cases resistance the only thing left, but in many cases it's because people still believe in a country free from violence and corruption, and the resistance, though peaceful, is active. They don't keep silent, and they don't forget those who died resisting too. They protest and make sure that those who are gone will never be forgotten. So as I said, when CPT visits a community, our partners share their food, houses, and lives. They welcome us and make us feel part of the community when we share coffee and listen to each other's stories. Their warmth and beautiful hearts teach us that though Colombia is a country that suffers violence, its people still believe in peace. So that's what I prepared for you. So just two more minutes, and this is a picture of me and Sandro. In case you're wondering how you can get involved and support CPT, I will tell you right now. And I will also tell you that we need your help. It takes a coalition to make a difference, and hearing my story is already a great help. But if you can, please do more. And you can start going to CPT social media and start following us. You can also sign up for email lists. Through these channels, we share news about our partners, national delegations, the national context. I can talk about delegation. We also share actions, and the Colombia team is planning to launch an action to increase awareness of the killing of social leaders and demand a response from Colombia authorities to stop these assassinations. So that if you follow us, you're gonna have opportunity to be part of this action. We also invite you to go our Instagram and see some of our pictures, but you can go to the website and you can read articles and reflections that we write about our work and our partners. You can watch webinars. We invite CPT partners to share about the conflict in their areas, and I think it's a great opportunity for you to know what is happening in the world during the pandemic. Usually when there's not a pandemic happening, we hold delegations. Unfortunately, they are all suspended, but you can also plan to join a delegation once we're back. And you can also donate. All our work is done thanks to donations, and we don't receive any government funds. So these donations, they have come mainly from people like me and you who see the governments working hard in wars, and we see the need to make peace now more than ever. So you can go to the website, you can go to cpt.org/donate, and you can make your donation. So to the end of my time, I would like to share this video with you. It's a lovely video that the team made for our partners in the communities to show how much we miss them. And I hope this video makes your heart feel warm, and we hope that it makes you want to come to one of our delegations. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to be in touch with Pastor Randy, and I'm gonna send this information in case you want to contact us or go to our website and support our work. Thank you very much, and you have a blessing Sunday.